The next live-action Star Wars series is just days away, as Ahsoka will soon hit our screens. This could be the biggest and most eventful live-action Star Wars show to date. With that in mind, we felt it was the perfect time to catch you up and prepare you with 10 things you need to know before watching the Ahsoka series. Number 1. The basics. Ahsoka will now release this Tuesday, August the 22nd, with a 2-episode premiere on Disney+. We'll then get a single episode released every Tuesday, with 8 episodes total, and a finale on October 3rd. They were originally set to release on Wednesdays in the early hour of the morning for North America, but it was announced that for the very first time, they will drop at 6 p.m. Pacific Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Time, an update that's been very well received. The runtimes for the first 3 episodes, without credits, have been revealed as follows: 54 minutes and 21 seconds, 42 minutes and 15 seconds, and 34 minutes and 50 seconds. Ahsoka is set during the age of the New Republic and the time of the Mandoverse, roughly 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. The entire series was written by Dave Filoni, who co-created the character of Ahsoka with George Lucas prior to her 2007 Clone Wars debut. 6 directors will rotate throughout the series, with many returning from The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett, including Filoni, Steph Green, Peter Ramsey, Jennifer Getzinger, Gita Vasant-Patel, and Rick Famuyiwa. Some early spoiler-free reviews of the premiere have begun to trickle in from other influencers and publications. The consensus tends to be the same. For instance, Star Wars Newsnet on X gave it an overall thumbs up and said Natasha Leo Bordizzo's portrayal of Sabine was the heart of the show. Number 2. Ahsoka Story so far. The synopsis for Ahsoka is as follows. Set after the fall of the Empire, Ahsoka will follow the former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano as she investigates an emerging threat to a vulnerable galaxy after the fall of the Empire. Pretty simple, unlike Ahsoka's story so far. Ahsoka made her debut in the Clone Wars as a young Jedi who was discovered at a young age by Plo Koon and was brought to the Jedi Temple. She became Anakin Skywalker's Padawan and fought alongside him in the 501st for much of the Clone Wars, the two becoming very close. Ultimately, their bond would take a major hit when the Jedi Temple was bombed and Ahsoka was framed and banished from the Jedi Order. Once Anakin helped to clear her name, Ahsoka decided not to return to the Order. The two had a brief reunion in the final season of Clone Wars before Anakin rushed off to rescue the Chancellor and begin the events of Revenge of the Sith. Meanwhile, Ahsoka, Captain Rex, and Bo-Katan Kryze went to Mandalore to capture Darth Maul. As they escorted Maul back to Coruscant, Anakin became Darth Vader and Order 66 was issued. Ahsoka survived along with Rex, who she helped to remove his inhibitor chip. When their Jedi Star Cruiser crashed, she then buried the clones and her lightsabers, seeking a new life and a new beginning. Eventually drawn back into the fight, she took up the mantle of Fulcrum, working with Bail Organa, constructed rare white lightsabers, and began to work with the Spectre Rebel Cell and Rex once again. She even encountered her old master, learning of his fate in a very emotional duel. Number 3. Thrawn and Ezra's reemergence. During the time of Star Wars Rebels and the liberation of Lothal, Jedi Padawan Ezra Bridger used the Force, with the aid of some space whales called Purrgil, to transport himself and Grand Admiral Thrawn to an unknown location, likely the unknown regions of the galaxy. This opening allowed the Lothal resistance group on the ground to free the planet. After the fall of the Empire, Sabine Wren and Ahsoka Tano set off on a journey to find Bridger and bring him home. The next time we'd see Ahsoka was in her live-action debut in The Mandalorian Season 2. Din Djarin intended for the Force-sensitive child Grogu to be trained by Ahsoka, but she refused. She helped Din liberate the planet Corvus and dueled its magistrate Morgan Elsbeth, defeating her and interrogating her about Thrawn's whereabouts. The last time we saw her was a brief appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, interacting with Luke Skywalker before departing, presumably for where her story will take her now. Ahsoka likely has 2 goals throughout the series: find and rescue Ezra Bridger, likely from the unknown regions of the galaxy, and prevent the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn as heir to the Galactic Empire. Number 4. The Ghost Crew returns. Following in Ahsoka's footsteps, the Rebels' Ghost Crew are set to appear in live action for the first time. That is, aside from Zeb, who was in The Mandalorian, Chopper, who was very briefly in Rogue One, and Kanan Jarrus because, well, he's dead. Natasha Leo Bordizzo is playing Sabine Wren, a Mandalorian warrior and graffiti artist, Imperial Academy dropout, former bounty hunter, and Ahsoka's former Padawan with expert knowledge of weapons and explosives. Throughout many of the trailers, we see Sabine wielding what was once Ezra's lightsaber and training with Ahsoka, teasing that she could in fact have some level of Force sensitivity. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Obi-Wan Kenobi's actual wife, will portray Hera Syndulla, a Twi'lek New Republic general who is the pilot of the Ghost and owner of the astromech droid Chopper. Hera had a son, Jason, with the late Jedi Knight Kanan Jarrus, who, thanks to an early image of a Lego set, also looks to appear in Ahsoka. Hera looks to interact with other New Republic leaders, such as Mon Mothma, who at this point should be Chancellor of the Galaxy. She implemented the Military Disarmament Act, which forces a rapid decrease in their military assets, leaving them particularly open to a threat like Thrawn or eventually the First Order. Number 5. Morgan Elsbeth, a Night Sister. Morgan Elsbeth is back and seems to have a similar goal in mind to Ahsoka, only to bring about the return of Thrawn. According to Ahsoka, Elsbeth's people were massacred during the Clone Wars. The anger resulting from this spurred her to join the Empire upon its formation, which led her to becoming instrumental in the crafting of the Imperial Navy, where she, of course, likely met the Chiss Grand Admiral. One major theory about Morgan Elsbeth is that she is a Night Sister from the planet Dathomir, one of the few survivors when General Grievous attacked the planet. The Night Sisters were the female inhabitants of Dathomir, Darth Maul's home world, and possessed the Force, utilizing it through Night Sister magic. A few small hints to her being a Night Sister are sprinkled throughout the trailer, such as her predominantly red attire, and a small green flame can be seen below her hand, emulating the usage of Night Sister magic. Number 6. Who are Balin and Shin? Even if Elsbeth isn't Force sensitive, she's got backup, beginning with Balon Skull and Shin Hati. Balin is described as a former Jedi who survived Order 66 by fleeing into the unknown regions, who is now a mercenary in search of power. Tragically, Ray Stevenson, who portrays Balin, passed away before the show could air. May he rest in peace. Balin's apprentice, Shin Hati, still has a Padawan's braid and is said to be ordered by Balin to go after Ahsoka. Both Force users wield orange lightsabers, something which Dave Filoni said was intentional. We recently made a video on the various lightsaber color meanings and theorized they could be similar to purple. Jedi like Mace Windu wielded purple lightsabers to represent an affinity with both the light and dark sides of the Force, as purple is a combination of red and blue. Perhaps orange would be used by Darksiders who feel more of a pull to the light. Perhaps Balin and Shin attempted to bleed their lightsaber crystals red, only for them to turn orange. Number 7. A new Inquisitor. Alongside Balin and Shin, a new Imperial Inquisitor is also set to appear, who later became a mercenary hired by Morgan Elsbeth. This character was originally believed by many to be the 8th brother from Rebels, but at this point that's definitely been proven otherwise. Some theories still persist that Merok could be a canon adaptation of Galen Merrick from The Force Unleashed, Darth Vader's immensely powerful apprentice. Others believe this could be Barriss Offee, a Jedi who was close with Ahsoka that eventually became disillusioned with the Jedi Order and was the culprit behind the temple's bombing. Some have also suggested it could be a dark clone of Ezra Bridger, but chances are this is just a new and original character. It is interesting, however, to note that all of the Inquisitors were believed to be dead by the time of A New Hope. So how did this one survive? Number 8. Anakin Skywalker appearing. One of the longest standing rumors going into Ahsoka was an appearance from Hayden Christensen, once again back as Anakin Skywalker. The most intriguing rumor has come from the fairly reputable MakingStarWars.net. They claim an Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano duel will take place on Mustafar. The Ahsoka Tano featured in the fight scene itself is a younger Ahsoka Tano, as would be fitting for the time, and that a younger actress was used as Ahsoka for the shoot. The scene itself was said to take place in the world between worlds as seen in Rebels, where Ahsoka would see a possible vision or timeline that's meant to show her that Anakin falling to the dark side is part of Skywalker's destiny, and there was nothing that she could do. The lesson for Ahsoka to learn during these scenes is that she cannot change destiny, and that she must embrace it, no matter how hard or painful. I think we would also more than welcome the chance of a Force Spirit Anakin visiting his former apprentice. Number 9. Huyang the Droid. Another Clone Wars era character set to return is Huyang the Droid. Huyang was a Mark IV architect droid professor based aboard the Jedi vessel Crucible, who, for 1,000 generations, taught Jedi younglings, including Grandmaster Yoda and Jedi Master Mace Windu, how to construct their lightsabers following the Gathering. David Tennant will reprise his voice acting role from the Clone Wars. It'll be interesting to see what role Huyang will play in the story, and if he'll be helping someone to construct a new lightsaber. Number 10, what comes next? I know, this show hasn't even begun yet, but what comes next? Specifically at this point in the timeline, Skeleton Crew is the next Star Wars show to release. While it was believed to be dropping late this year, some say it's possibly been pushed to early 2024. Things are pretty hard to predict right now with the ongoing writer and actor strikes. We know that Jon Favreau has also finished Season 4 of The Mandalorian, and it would probably surprise no one if Ahsoka were to get additional seasons too. But as announced at Star Wars Celebration, this is all building up to a 2026 theatrically released movie that will tie in the events of The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew, written and directed by Dave Filoni, and reportedly titled Heir to the Empire, a tribute to the Timothy Zahn novels, which originally chronicled this part of the timeline. But what aspects of the Ahsoka series are you most looking forward to? What are your bold predictions? Let us know down in the comments. Come join us to chat more at our community Discord server, linked in the description. If you enjoyed today's Star Wars video, we've got more on the screen for you right now. Also make sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe to join the Red Squadron. Until next time, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Red 5, standing by.